What's up, boys and girls? My name is Cowwy and welcome back to the Carrot Club. This is part 2 for the electricity update, where I will be explaining more about the electrical stuff, specifically the stuff that is on the ground right now. This topic is a bit more advanced. If you want to know more about the basics of electrical components, check out the videos over here where I explain how to connect them all together. Now, I know this video might be a bit long and you might not need all the information here, so I'm trying something new by putting all the sections in the video description below so you can just jump around. Also, if you're new to this channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate everyone's support and hope to see you guys around at the Carrot Club. So with that, let's get right to the point. The first thing you need to do, if you haven't already done so, is to upgrade your electrical workbench, because the components we're covering are only available from level 2. If you haven't reached level 3 yet, don't worry about it. Some of these components are quite difficult to understand, so we're going to go through the easy components first and then to the harder ones. The first item we're going to look at is the solar panel, which is a better power source than your first coal generator. The solar panel only works during the day because it's a solar panel. This thing gives you a power of 20 when it is working, and just like the coal generator, you connect this to other components and it will power them. And that's all it does. The second component is the button. It is basically an on and off switch. The only difference is it only stays on for about 3 seconds. If you're wondering what good is the button do, seriously, at the moment, it is not very useful. We'll have to wait for another update when they add more electrical components, maybe an electric door. The next component is the timer, which adds a delay to the electrical flow by 1 second. If I connect a timer to my LED light, you can see that I can create flickering lights because the timer component blocks the electricity for 1 second, making it seem like it is turning on and off by itself. This is very useful in creating complex electrical work. However, because this is new to the game, it is kind of buggy and you cannot do a whole lot with it. For example, I can try connecting more timers to the LED light, making the delay longer. The only problem is the timer gets a bit glitchy and messes up the electrical flow after a while. Then the whole setup just breaks. So it is not very useful at the moment, not until it is fixed. Once they have fixed this problem, I'm sure we can build a lot of cool stuff with it. If you need to use it, stick to using only one timer. So here we have the combiner. The combiner combines electricity together, so if you have 2 solar panels like this, each solar panel gives 20 power. Combining them using the combiner, you will get 40 power as a result, and it is simple as that. This is useful in situations where you have a lot of components, like this wall of LED lights here. There is 40 LED lights connecting to each other right now. If I only use one solar panel, it won't have enough power to light up all the LED lights. However, if I use the combiner and combine 2 solar panels together, I can light up all the LED lights. Basically, you use combiner to boost electricity output to power your setup. The splitter does the opposite from the combiner. Instead of adding powers together, it divides the power equally. So if I have a solar panel with 20 power, putting it through the splitter will give out 10 power output on each outlet. This is useful for intricate electrical flow where you have a lot of switches and you want precise output. For example, if I know that LED light only requires 1 power to turn on, I won't waste the whole solar panel just to turn on 1 LED light. So I'll split the power, 1 for the light, and the rest can do other things. So the setup I have right here, I split the power so that the light only gets the minimum input while I use the rest of the power on something else. So this giant piece of metal is the split conveyor. It looks a lot like the randomizer, but it is not. This component here allows you to change conveyor belt direction when it is powered. So if I connect this to a switch, I can change which direction the items will travel on the conveyor belt. This is very useful if you have an iron farm and a steel farm. You can choose which item to make by flipping a switch. I have an iron and steel farm set up here. Right now I am making iron. Everything coming out of the smelter will be stored in this box. If I want to make steel, all I have to do is flip the switch here. Now all the irons will flow towards the steel mill, turning it into steel. So this is the disabler, which looks more like an alien beacon. What it does is it disables Totem from working. The description says it will disable Totem within 10 blocks. Here's an example of what it means. I have a stone totem here spawning stones into the void. If I don't turn on the disabler, it will continuously spawn stones. Right now the totem is sitting on the 10th block. I know this because I have plowed the ground to see how far it will go. Anywhere you see plowed grass, that's how far the range will go. So the totem is within range of the disabler. The moment I turn it on, the totem stops working. The reason why you would want to use this is to shut down large totem farms because there is a limit to how many totems you can have on your island. To be able to disable totems with a switch can improve the lag on your island and you don't have to always breaking stuff. So this funny looking component with the word end on it is called the end gate. What this does is it controls whether or not electricity is allowed to pass through. The only time the electricity gets to pass through is when there is two active input. For example, I have connected a solar panel and a coal generator as input and an LED light as output. The only time the LED light turns on is when both solar panel and coal generator is active. If one of them is off, the lights won't turn on. So that's what the word end means. It means two input must be active. The next component is called the OR gate. As the name suggests, it allows electricity to pass through as long as one or the other input is active. So if I have two generators connected, only one of them needs to work for the light to turn on. As you can see, I have a solar panel connected and a coal generator connected. During the day, the solar panel can turn on the light, while the coal generator can turn on the light at night. One or the other will work. The last component is the XOR gate, which does the complete opposite from the OR gate. What this does is it only allows electricity to pass through only if there is one active input. So if I have two active generators connected, the light won't turn on because both input is active. If I disconnect one of them, it will work. And that's the end of the second part of this electrical update. I made each section super short so none of the complicated stuff gets mixed in. This stuff probably don't make much sense to a lot of you. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. I'm sure there will be a lot of tutorials out there showing you guys how to use this to set up farms and stuff. If it does make sense to you, hope that you have a fun time with it. So thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys next time or at the Carrot Club. Take care everybody.